My talk today has been termed The Power of Music, but I'd like to correct it to maybe the power of the music educator or the power of music education. How many of you can read music? Can I see your hands? Or somewhat? Well, very few. Zero. Well, my passion is teaching music, and I think my career as a teacher began when I was 3. I would hold up a ruler, I believe, my parents tell me, and wouldn't allow visitors to leave the house until they'd learned to say their ABC correctly. And I remember there was a time when I was 12, the local Rotary Club invited me to teach them the anthem, and it really got to my head. And I began behaving like one of the nuns at school, and I told them how to stand and be very quiet and attentive. And there was one particular gentleman who kept on speaking as I was talking, so I clapped my hands. I said, "You over there, sir, will you please be quiet?" Turned out to be the Inspector General of Police. But he was very kind and amused by the whole incident. Well, I'm about to take into the world of the music student. This is your first music lesson. How do you notate music? How do you notate this sound? Ah. If I ask you to write apple, you would write A-P-P-L-E. But how would I teach a little child how to read this sound? La, la, la. Or how would I teach a child to read this rhythm? I'm about to make you my students. Would you please become 4-year-olds all over again? Now, this note has just one ta. This has ta-a. It has 2 pulses. And this note has 4 pulses. So can we say it together, please? Just a minute. Oops. All right, let's just begin with the first one. Ta, ta, a, ta, a. Excellent. You've read your first rhythm chart. Can we do the second one? Shall we start? Ta, 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 You all get 10 on 10. How do we notate sound? I showed you how we notate rhythm. It's not very difficult. And these are the lines that we use. How many lines can you see? Correct. And here they are numbered, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we teach even 4-year-olds. And in between those lines, we have spaces, 4 spaces. Now we're about to sing our first song. Can we sing ta on every note? Now this note is written below the 5 lines, and this is how you sing the first pitch. Ta, and the next one goes up. Ta, ta. That's all, just 3 pitches. Shall we start? Ta, 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 ta. Very good. Are you ready for the next one? Now, remember these notes which are white and have a stem, they have 2 ta. So we have the same pitches, but on a different rhythm. Ready? Ta, a, ta, a, ta, a, ta, a, ta, a. Excellent. Now this is your very first real song. And let me see if you can guess the name of the song, right? So I'm giving you the pitch. That's on the first line. It's just those 3 pitches you saw on the first 2 charts. Ta. Ready? Ta, a, ta, a, ta, a, ta, a, ta, a, ta, a, ta, 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 ta. Do you know the tune? hot cross buns. All right, I'm not going to make you sing because it's going to take too much time. So you've learned your first lesson. And I have 4-year-olds whom I teach every week. And when their parents ask them, what have you learned at Miss Pauline's? Oh, even if we explain it to you, you wouldn't understand, they say. But now you do, because you've understood the importance of reading music. And why is it important to read music? It's because you get into the mind of the composer. You are connected with what the composer is trying to say. And he may have many, many stories. Now, music is very, very special because it's stored in a part of a brain which is easily retrievable. Many of you may hear tune which you've heard many, many years ago, and suddenly you recall it. You don't know how, but something may have jogged that memory. And I've understood that the power of reading music does something to you. When I first came back to Shillong, a lot of people asked me, why is it that you want to teach music seriously? Do you think people are willing to put in so much time? And then when I put in an advert, I found that it was really overwhelming. I couldn't teach all these people who wanted to come and learn. One case in point was this young lady. She was brought to me because she was very sickly as a child, and they thought she wouldn't pass her grade 10 even. But after she learned how to read music, she would come every day, look at what the kids were doing. I didn't even want to spend so much time because I didn't feel I was equipped to help a child with problems. But she just sat around and learned from the other children. And in 2 years, she was doing the 6th grade of the London College of Music exams, and she is now teaching with me. And she went on to pass a grade 10 quite easily, and she recently graduated from college with honors. And not only that, she's teaching this young lad, Ruben. He is autistic, diagnosed with the Asperger's syndrome. He cannot read at all. He can't recognize alphabets or numbers, but he can read music. He can play little tunes on his own, and his life has discovered some order. Now I see that the time is really moving on, and I'd like to tell you the first fruits of this passion for teaching is this little lad on my left, my youngest brother, Neil. I used to teach him like this. When he was 3, I would just play little tunes like, and then he picked it up. And then it went on to, I didn't know how to read then, but I taught him what was in my heart. And later on, when he went to England to study, he said, "Thay Thay," which means big sister. He said, "The way you taught me, here in England, they call it the Suzuki method." And so this young man went on to become a concert pianist and started the Bangalore Chamber Choir, which many of you will know has risen to dizzying heights. Recently, my choir and we visited this magical place in Switzerland. It was in this place that I discovered my calling as a musician. Up until then, I had always used music as entertainment or something to soothe myself or entertain people. But it was in this place that the question was asked, can artists help to mend a broken world? And it was my first reckoning with the calling for a musician to have a social responsibility. And it was only after then I began to explore the possibilities of using music as a healing tool, using music as a bridge between cultures and between peoples. And of course, that's another story altogether. But recently, I was able to take my choir to this magical place. And before we left, we were given a piece of music. And when the choir read it, they said, we really don't like this piece. Until we met John Burroughs. He is a wonderful conductor from the United States, and he taught us how to interpret the music. And after he had done conducting, The choir said, we've never sung like this before. And at the end of the workshop that he gave us, he had a wonderful and a poignant story to tell us. And he said his son, 2 years ago, had met with a terrible accident and had lost the use of all his limbs. And one day, John hit upon the idea of trying to revive his memory because he couldn't recognize anything or anyone. So he would sing to him every day. He would sing to him introductions like, this is your mother, this is your right hand, this is your left hand. And finally, this young man was able to recognize people and live long enough to be able to make peace with his family and come to a sort of an understanding. So that is the power of music. Time doesn't allow me to tell you very much more, but this is my role as an educator. I use music to teach children not only the values of music, but values of punctuality, caring for one another, respecting another culture. In fact, at home, with the choir, I have this wonderful purple basket. As you know, in our nation, not being punctual is a national disease. And how do we deal with it? We have this wonderful basket where you pay 1 rupee per minute, or on very important days, you pay 50 rupees a minute. And that is how we collect money, and that is how we deal with people who are tardy. So music is a very important tool, and it has helped to bridge many, many cultures, gaps between rich and poor. In my choir, we have all sorts of people from all walks of life, and in a little while, I'm going to invite them to come forward to sing you a song, which I wrote in our language. Many years ago, I think it was only 2009, that the Khasi language was taken off the danger list. So I decided to use my music to take it off the danger list of being a language which will go into extinction. So I wrote this oratorio as a way of communicating my love for God, my worship for Him, and a way of communicating scriptural truths through the choir. So I'm going to invite them to come forward now to sing.